गिरिवरधारी जनवल्लभ जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदनन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनातिरवनचारी यमुनातिरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदनन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनातिरवनचारी यमुनातिरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनातिरवनचारी यमुनातिरवनचारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Jaya Radha Govinda, Radhe. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parirajaacharya Ashtotar Shatarshi Srimad His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON BPT Founder Acharya Savior of the whole world Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parirajaacharya Ashtotar Shatarshi Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय। मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगामय यमुनामय की जय। तंत्रा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiti Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. We welcome all of you for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today morning we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter number 29, explanation of devotional service, verse number 8. Abhisandhyaya himsaya dambam matrasyam eva va dambam matrasyam eva va samrambhi bhinna drik bhavam मयि कुर्यात् स तमसा अभिसन्ध्यस्य यो हिंसां दम्भं मात्रास्यम् एव वा संरम्भी भिन्नदृग्भावं मयि कुर्यात् स तमसा अभिसन्ध्यस्य यो हिंसां दम्भं मत्सर्यम् एव वा संरम्भी भिन्नदृग्भावं मयि कुर्यात् सा तमसा. अभिसन्ध्याय यो हिंसां दम्भमात्सर्य एव वा संरम्भी भिन्नदृग्भावं मयि कुर्यात् सा तमसा. मयि कुर्यात् सामसा. अभिसन्धाय यो हिंसां दम्भमात्सर्य एव वा संरम्भी भिन्नदृग्भावं मयि कुर्यात् सा तमसा. Word to word meaning. Abhisandhyaya, having in view. Ya, he who. Himsam, violence. Dambham, pride. Matsaryam, envy. Eva, indeed. Va, or. Samrambhi, angry. Bhinna, separate. Drik, whose vision. Bhavam, devotional service. Mai, onto me, to me. Kuryat, may do. Sa, he. Tamsa, in the mode of ignorance. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: devotional service executed by a person who is envious, proud, violent and angry, and who is a separatist is considered to be in the mode of darkness. Please repeat. Devotional service executed by a person who is envious, proud, violent, and angry, and who is separatist is considered to be in the mode of darkness. Purport. It is already been stated in the Srimad Bhāgavatam, first canto, second chapter, that the highest, most glorious religion is the attainment of causeless, unmotivated devotional service. In pure devotional service, the only motive should be to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is not actually a motive, that is pure condition of the living entity. In the conditioned stage, when one engages in devotional service, he should follow the instructions of the bona fide spiritual master in full surrender. The spiritual master is the manifested representation of the Supreme Lord because he received and presents the instructions of the Lord as they are by disciplic succession. It is described in Bhagavad Gita that the teachings therein should be received by disciplic succession, otherwise, there is an alteration. To act under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master with a motive to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead is pure devotional service. But if one has a motive for personal sense gratification, his devotional service is manifested differently. Such a man may be violent, proud, envious, and angry, and his interests are separate from the Lord's. One who approaches the Supreme Lord to render devotional service, but who is proud of his personality, envious of others, or vengeful, is in the mode of anger. He thinks that he is the best devotee. Devotional service executed in this way is not pure, it is mixed and is one of the lowest grade, tamasa. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur advises that a Vaishnav who is not of a good character should be avoided. A Vaishnav is one who has taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the ultimate goal of life. But if one is not pure and still has motives, then he is not a Vaishnav of first class order of a good character. One may offer his respects to such a Vaishnav because he has accepted the Supreme Lord as the ultimate goal of the life, but one should not keep company with a Vaishnav who is in the mode of ignorance. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshunu Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamischa Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vitamischa Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Desatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Tammo Ayate Griyat Kripatam Hande Shri Guru Dinatayo Hare Krishna. So, today's translation: devotional service executed by a person who is envious, proud, violent, and angry, and who is separatist, is considered to be in the mode of darkness. So, here, what is happening is, we'll just recap what Devahuti, Mother Devahuti has asked questions to Kapila. This is the chapter in which um, um, the description of devotional service has been explained by Lord Kapila. So first 1 to 6 verses, Devahuti is asking questions. Devahuti is asking in the first verse, first and second verse, please tell me in detail about the different paths of bhakti, which is the root cause of knowledge of Sankhya. And then she is asking that please describe the various birth and death of the jivas and how to get detached from that. And then further, Devahuti asks this question to Kapila Dev, please explain the time factor, which is the fear factor means. And and then she comes to the point that, you know, then she glorifies his son. You have come as a son who is suffering due to the false identity, blind and sleeping in samsara, exhausted due to attachment. These jivas, those who have come in this factor, please explain. This is the questions which were asked by Devahuti to Kapila, and Devahuti is explaining. Now Kapila Dev is going to explain bhakti in 3 different modes actually. This is the one we are reading is the bhakti devotional service executed by a person who is in mode of ignorance. So here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes a very beautiful commentary on this verse. He explains that bhakti is never in any mode. Bhakti is above the modes actually. So one should not consider bhakti to be tamasic or rajasic or sattva. But bhakti is pure devotional service, is above the modes. A person who is practicing bhakti is person who is in different modes. So there is difference that bhakti is never contaminated by the modes. But a person who is practicing, he might not be in a particular mode actually. He might be in a particular mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. And because of that thing, the devotional service what he is practicing is tinged by these modes actually. So the description here has been given that this verse explains the four things about how a person practicing in the mode of ignorance. He's envious, he's angry, he's vindhatrik, he's separatist, and then he's full of pride, dampam. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also tells ahead actually that this mode of bhakti has got different levels. A person who is practicing tamasic bhakti is again divided into 3 categories. He does that. One who worships, he who worships with faith the Lord with the goal to destroy another person. That is the lowest grade in tamasic. A person is worshipping the Lord but to destroy the other person. We have a very beautiful example of who is the one who is worshipping the Lord in order to destroy the other person. Can anyone give an example? Yes. Diti. Yeah, I was expecting this thing. Diti, he wanted to destroy Indra. Because Indra, Diti had earlier killed Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. And when Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, they were killed by Lord Vishnu. But the reason Diti comes to know is because Diti understands that Indra was the cause, because Lord Vishnu wanted to restore the kingdom back to Indra. So she becomes very envious of Indra. And this time she approaches Kashyapa Muni, her husband, and does a lot of service to Kashyapa Muni. And when Kashyapa Muni is very pleased by Diti's service, he asked Vibhun, I want to give you some boon. And immediately Diti has a motive that I want a son who can kill Indra. And then Kashyapa Muni that reason she has been serving me very faithfully. And Kashyap Muni laments, and still he gives a benediction that, by following the Vrata, and by serving, he gives the boon that you will have a son who will kill Indra. But then, he tells that, for that you need to worship Lord Vishnu. He wanted that Diti should get purified. This is the blessing of Kashyap Muni to Diti, that in order to purify her, he engages her in devotional service. And once, Diti starts executing the Vrata, during that time she gets purified internally. But Indra becomes very insecure, that Diti is going to have a son, and who will be the cause of my death? So now Diti, Indra is looking forward for a reason to kill the son of Diti in the womb. And then he's just waiting, he's serving Diti actually with this motive, that I want to kill the son who is there in the womb. And he enters, he's just looking for an opportunity. The moment Diti unwashes her hand, after taking prasad, she forgets to wash his hand. And immediately Indra enters the womb of Diti, and with his sword he chops the womb in seven pieces. And then again he chops the womb in more 7 pieces. So there are 49 Maruts who take birth out of the womb of Diti. So this is all because of the envious mentality of Diti actually. That Indra is in this position. And we see, this is devotional service practice in mode of ignorance actually. Just with a motive to destroy the another person. With this motive actually, Diti has been worshipping Indra. And then, there are other examples also which you can see, Kaikeyi, she becomes very envious of Kaushalya. This happens when, Mantra actually, changes her consciousness due to her bad association. Kaikeyi has been contaminated by that association. And the envy has been, she feels very envious of Kaushalya because she's about to lose his position. And because of this thing, she wants to act in such a way that it's very, very harmful for the complete Hare Krishna. Is it good? Hare Krishna. Now it's good or Hare Krishna? Okay. Hare Krishna. So Kaikeyi actually acts in a very envious mode actually from about Kaushalya, and because of this thing she acts, and this is the reason why Dashrath Maharaj had to die, because of giving the boons to asking Lord Ram to go to forest for 14 years and making Bharat as the king. So we see this envy has been a great cause in the heart of the living entities. Just because of the envy, a living entity is suffering in this material world. In fact, if we read Srila Prabhupada's purpose, many times Srila Prabhupada tells that it is because of the envious nature of the living entity, or to enjoy separately from the Lord. He is envious that how can only Krishna enjoy? Why not I enjoy? And then because of this reason he is put into this material world actually. And he wants to come back to the spiritual world. The last thing what is obstructing is this envy. If envy is given up, then one is freed from this envy. And once ego is purified, and then he can immediately come back to Godhead. So we see, as a devotee, these are examples which are there in Srimad Bhāgavatam. But in day-to-day life also we see how it is very, very painful. Sometimes, we see examples of people, devotees, getting envious of each other because of, one receiving a lot of mercy, one getting recognition by a spiritual master, or one getting some post and position. The other devotees become envious that how can, both of us had come at the same time. Both of us has come to Krishna consciousness at the same time. In fact, we are together, we are like, we joined ashram at the same time, or we are together in Krishna consciousness. But this person is getting a lot of recognition. This person is getting a lot of post, position, and a lot of facilities, and I am not getting anything. This causes great amount of envy envy in our heart. And because of that thing, our devotional service gets tinged with mode of ignorance actually. And we cannot practice this pure devotional service, what is expected from Srimad Bhāgavatam. So it's very important that we protect ourselves from this envious nature actually. Then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur tells again in second grade of bhakti. This is the lowest grade that one who with faith, one who worships the Lord with faith with the goal to destroy another person. This is lowest grade. And then he tells that he is like a prostitute worships his master, Lord of the universe. Many devotees worship Lord Narayan, and this is medium grade of tamasic bhakti. It's like Lord, he is worshipping the Lord Narayan, but like a prostitute, because he has got many masters. He has got masters in the way. He wants to serve himself. His motive is to not just serve the Lord, but he wants to serve others also. Who is there above in the post and the position he wants to serve. And then he tells, he who worships the Lord in a competitive mode, with a He who worships the Lord in a competitive mode after seeing the worship of Devatas has tamasic bhakti of the highest grade. This is like in a very competitive mode. We see this example where there is a lot of competition among the devotees. Devatas, and this example comes in Srimad Bhāgavatam, where the Devatas are in competence with the asuras. They are just always fighting with each other just to acquire the heavenly kingdom or acquire the benefits of living in the heavenly kingdom. And the Devatas worship Lord Vishnu in order to get their desires fulfilled, just to destroy the asuras, because they are in a competition to get the best thing, best facilities. So this is the level of bhakti in tamasic mode. This is in the highest grade. So we see that devotees also, I remember in Pune also there was this at one time there was such a intense competition for book distribution that there was literally a fierce fight between two groups, just to announce, literally in the sense, till the time the score was announced in the morning. This was just a marathon time, and devotees were competing each other. So one devotee, he saved a check, he got it from a well-wisher. So he was just waiting if he has to use now or he has to use later. If he announces the score, or if he gives the check to the in charge, that time the score will be known to the other devotee, other group. So he just waits at the last moment. When the score was about to be finalized, he goes and tells, I've got one more check, I've got more 100 books, or it was like 250 books or something like that. And the other group just somehow came to know. And this was happening right before Mangalarti. This was Prabhu had described this thing earlier also, that both of them had become envious actually of each other. Both groups, they wanted to compete, and somehow they had to finalize, that score will not be counted, the check will not be counted since it was not deposited the one day before. And that devotee became very, very morose, and we can understand how this competition mode had taken place. Competition, Prabhupada always encouraged competition for doing book distribution. But this type of competition where, we hear this past time also that, devotees going and puncturing the van, or the traveling Sankirtan bus party, the tire has been punctured so that the other devotees cannot go in the night for book distribution or in the evening. So, this is there in Radha Damodar bus party. If you read, there is this competition among devotees in which, they literally puncture their tires so that the other group doesn't go for the book distribution. So that level of competition is causing envious actually. But healthy competition is required for doing this. So we can see the practice of devotional service in this way is in the mode of ignorance actually. We are trying to please Srila Prabhupada by doing a lot of book distribution. But here the mode is, it's more of showing that, I have done more. This is for me. When envy is there, it's for me and mine, or my name should be coming ahead. So we see this thing, that devotees get carried away with envious things, envy within the heart, even though they are practicing pure devotional service. Just like we have heard about the example of Diti and Indra. Because of envy, though they are worshipping Lord Vishnu, but still that envy is not had gone. But eventually what happens is, by practicing devotional service, this envy also goes away. But for that one has to keep continuing practicing devotional service. So here, in the next this thing, the word comes Damba. Damba is pride. Because of pride, also, devotees, this practicing of devotional service gets contaminated. We see Lord Krishna was not pleased with the gopis also when there was pride in the heart. In fact, this comes as the epitome of 10th canto Srimad Bhāgavatam, where Krishna is dancing with the gopis in a rasa dance, and there is Krishna comes to know that there is a tinge of pride in the heart of the gopis. Immediately Krishna goes away. So when there is pride, Krishna is not attracted to such type of devotional service. This is the highest order. And then we sometimes becomes pride, we become very proud of doing small things. Or small achievements we do, and we become so proud. Sometimes there is pride because of, one is able to give a lot of nice presentations. We become very proud, that, we are able to do something like that. Or we become very proud that, we have very wonderful skills. And, we have a wonderful, learning from Srimad Bhāgavatam, or, we can quote slokas like anything left, right, center. But Lord is more pleased by the humble devotion of devotees. Like we know the story of this Brahmana, South Indian Brahmana. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was more pleased with that Brahmana when he was not able to recite the slokas properly also. But he was not proud, he was just following the instruction of his spiritual master. To please his spiritual master, he was able to do this thing. So when there is pride in the heart, this devotional service gets contaminated actually with this mode of ignorance. The devotee is contaminated, not the devotional service, but devotee is contaminated with the mode of ignorance. And we see there is this another case of angry. There is this, what is the word? The Sanskrit word for this one? Sumramhi. A person is anger. In mode of anger, he practices devotional service. We see, this comes in the 4th canto, where Daksha is trying to do a sacrifice. In that sacrifice, Lord Vishnu is going to be, Vishnu will be, whenever Daksha does any sacrifice, Lord Vishnu personally comes to accept the ahuti, the results of that sacrifice. So he is a very great personality in one way. But he became very angry on Lord Shiva. Why? Because Lord Shiva did not show proper respects. So he just did not get up from his seat. And he became so angry that the complete, 4th canto begins with Daksha's pride, how Daksha had to go to so many different, the pastime is very big that, there was a fight in the sacrificial arena actually. So followers of Lord Shiva are fighting with Daksha's followers, and then there is complete fight, and Lord Brahma had to come and pacify Daksha. Eventually Daksha loses his life, and then he gets the head of the goat. So we see in this example that how because of being angry, this mode of this practice of devotional service gets contaminated. We see in our own examples also, practicing devotees sometimes, because a devotee is in mode of ignorance and passion, he becomes angry. And his practice, though he's practicing very nicely devotional service, but it gets contaminated with this mode of ignorance. And Prabhupada tells very beautifully about in the purport that one should not be Vinnadrik. Vinnadrik is separatist mentality. One should not, this comes in the next purport also, that he tells that a separatist is one who sees his interest separate from the Supreme Lord. that is makes devotional service. It doesn't align with the instructions given by the Supreme Lord or the spiritual master. As Prabhupada tells in this verse, that a person, a devotee, has to practice pure devotional service. And pure devotional service is practiced under the instructions of the spiritual master. When one receives the instructions of the spiritual master, it is possible. And how does this knowledge is being given by the spiritual master is, it's given in disciplic succession. So when one receives this and one acts under the direction of the bona fide spiritual master, pure devotional service is practiced by a devotee. In fact, in Nectar of Devotion, we hear this in the chapter of 6, how to discharge devotional service. The first 5 main important rules which a devotee has to follow is this: to take initiation from his spiritual master and to follow his instructions. That is mentioned in the first 5 principles is regarding practicing the instructions of the spiritual master. So it's very, very important for us to understand that when we are practicing pure devotional service, pure devotional service is very pure. But what is our intention behind practicing pure devotional service? Savai pumsa paro dharmo. Savai pumsa paro dharmo. Savai pumsa paro dharmo yato bhakti adokshate ahetuki apratiyata e atma suprasiddhati. So this is very important that we understand, for what is the intention, that is unmotivated and uninterrupted devotional service has to be practiced. And if that is not there, the motive is something else, then it's like Prabhupada writes in one of the purport that he is a pretender actually. If this motive is not there to please the Supreme Lord or to please the spiritual master by the practice of devotional service, then that person who is trying to practice is a pretender actually. But one beautiful thing of devotional service is one cannot pretend for a long time. He just cannot pretend for a long time. Because Krishna is one who cheats a person who is trying to cheat him. So he gets carried away or he gets in love with Krishna. As we know the story of, a person who wanted to come and rob Krishna. He heard about Krishna and he wanted to somehow get all the jewelry from Lord Krishna. And during that time, just because of the touch of Krishna, he becomes so spiritualized that he forgets the reason why he is come to Vrindavan to rob Krishna. So, this one way of Krishna cheating, in fact, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela is also there, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, where the 2 thieves, they come to cheat Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In fact, they are so fascinated by the jewelry the Lord is wearing that they carry Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu throughout the Navadip on their shoulders, that child, let me take you to your home. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes around completely actually, and then he comes back, somehow he tricks them. And then they are in front of Jagannath Mishra and Sachidevi. And they are so surprised that how did we land up here? So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord cheats a person who comes to cheat himself. So this is a way, they got the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Same way, a devotee who wants to come and practice pure devotional service, but then he gets cheated by Krishna because he loses his heart. As Prabhupada tells, one who has chanted the holy name of Lord very faithfully in Vrindavan, Krishna never leaves that person. So this is what Krishna wants, that one person should be able to chant the holy name of the Lord. And Krishna thus captivates the heart of that person and brings him back to him in any way. So I was just getting this one analogy I was hearing in a lecture, how Srimad Bhāgavatam is like a doctor, and then Srimad Bhāgavatam is the one who causes, whenever there is operation has to be done, the doctor gives an anesthesia, and Srimad Bhāgavatam gives that anesthesia in the form of explaining what are the, slowly it reduces the pain, what is there, what a person is going through. He is relieved from all the material miseries actually. A person who is practicing pure devotional service is relieved from all the material sufferings. And then Srimad Bhāgavatam, he does the surgery also, removes all the anarthas eventually. When we hear this Nashta Prayashva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavatam, when we keep hearing Srimad Bhāgavatam every day, what happens is all the anarthas, all the impurities which are there in the heart, they get eventually carried away. So this envy, pride, anger, separatist mentalities, all these things which are contaminating our heart, they get destroyed eventually when we hear Srimad Bhagavatam very faithfully. When we hear Srimad Bhagavatam very faithfully, it is like a surgery, open heart surgery which Srimad Bhagavatam is doing every day. And if a person is very, very faithfully executing this, executing of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada writes that regular attendance in Srimad Bhagavatam. If you read, there is no word of regular attendance in the verse. But Prabhupada mentions that there is a regular attendance required in Srimad Bhagavatam. So for a devotee, it's very important when he hears Srimad Bhagavatam, then all the anarthas eventually they get destroyed in the heart. And then it's like, it gives the taste for appreciating Krishna. It's like, the doctors give medicine which so that the disease doesn't come back again. So Srimad Bhagavatam also gives the taste of tasting Krishna, tasting the passions of Krishna, knowing about Krishna. In that way, Srimad Bhagavatam makes a heart purified as well as is giving a protection by giving that taste of knowing Krishna. And then in that way the patient is cured actually. And so the Srimad Bhagavatam cures a person and takes him back home, back to Godhead. So one should read this Srimad Bhagavatam or come and hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly, every day at least, so that his heart gets purified and he is this mode of he is able to practice pure devotional service, which is expected. We have come here to practice pure devotional service. So one should not get carried away by with the practice of devotional service, mixed devotional service. We don't want to become coincidental devotees. We want to become devotees of Krishna, which are serious about attaining the Lord actually. Not that we just came here coincidentally and we are just becoming a devotee, or it's like on the way of accepting devotional service. And then our practices should be so that we come out of this mode of ignorance, passion and goodness, and we practice pure devotional service. Thank you very much. Prabhupada ki jai. If you have any comments or if you have any reflections, or anything, please. That they can add something.
Nityam is there in regular attendance. Prabhupada translates Nityam as regular.
Nityam as regular. Attendance in Bhagavatam class is not there. I was expecting that. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. But Prabhupada writes there in the book that Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya means he writes that regular attendance in Bhagavatam class. That is correct. Please add something. We have some reflections from other devotees.
I appreciated your point and maybe you could explain further why it is that when someone wants to cheat Krishna, sure he'll cheat them, this makes sense. But you said he'll cheat them and also make them fall in love with him, like in the case of the thief. So why is that?
Because that is the best thing what can happen to that person. A person who has come to cheat Krishna. But as in the case of Diti also, Diti was envious, in one way he has approached Krishna, Vishnu, with a wrong motive. But then her heart got purified. At the end of the pastime, what happens is, Diti is, lamenting that, how did I want to kill Indra, who is the son of my sister. That is the lamentation what Diti is having. And in fact, if you see, that is the best thing, if a person can fall in love with Krishna. That is the best thing what can happen to a person. So a person might come to Krishna, and he wants to cheat in some way or the other. But then, he gets cheated and he loses his heart actually to serve Krishna. That is the best thing what can happen. And because Krishna is like, a loving father who sees that, a person who is separate from me is going to suffer. Is going to be in a great danger actually. So he is already going in beings in this material world. But then if he comes to me, that is the best thing what can happen. So in some way or the other, he make sure that that person, if he is coming to me with different motive also, his motive might be different. Like Putna came with a motive to kill Krishna, but then just because of one quality of Putna, that he wanted to nurse Krishna as a mother, she's been given a lot of mercy. So that way, we see that whoever approaches Krishna is been delivered with a Krishna delivers that person and brings him back to him actually, so that he can be in the best way actually, to go back to him and serve him.